Hi everyone. So in this video, we are going to be talking about social institutions. So as you work on your 1-1 discussion assignment, you're going to be taking a closer look at what social institutions you engage with on a regular basis. So first, let's look at what social institutions are. Any kind of a group or an organization can be a social institution. A social institution has a specific function within society, and it exists to meet the needs of society. So, how do I know what social institutions I engage in on a regular basis? Well, let's ask some questions and we'll find out. Do you buy groceries? Do you do any online shopping? Do you make purchases of any kind, including things like putting gas in your car? If you said yes to any of these, then you engage in shops or stores as a social institution. Do you interact with any people who you consider to be family? They don't have to be blood related. If you consider them to be family, then that could be a yes. Are you married or do you have any children living with you? If you said yes to any of these, then you engage in family as a social institution. Do you have money in a bank? Do you have direct deposit of some sort of money into a financial institution? Do you have a debit or a credit card? If you said yes to any of these, then you engage in banks as a social institution. Do you have employment? Do you work outside the home? Does your employment serve some purpose in society? It doesn't have to be some grand purpose. This can be everything from, for example, if you work for a restaurant, then you'd be serving the purpose of delivering food. If you work in a manufacturing plant, that would be the purpose in society. No matter where you work, odds are it has some purpose in society, otherwise the business would not exist. If you said yes to any of these, then you engage in a workplace as a social institution. Do you attend religious services? If you said yes, then you engage in organized religion as a social institution. Do you see a doctor at least once a year for a checkup? Do you have someone you take care of whom you bring to doctor appointments? Do you receive treatment from anyone who would be considered a physician or a mental health professional? If you said yes to any of these, then you engage in healthcare as a social institution. Do you vote? Do you research candidates? Do you enjoy any of the freedoms this country offers? Do you send letters to those in government? If you said yes to any of these, then you engage in government as a social institution. Do you belong to a club? Or perhaps belong to a volunteer organization? Do you donate to charity? If you said yes to any of these, then you engage in those organizations as social institutions. So for example, if you belong to Habitat for Humanity would be a social institution that you engage in. Do you stop at stop signs? Do you stay in your lane while driving? Do you wear clothing in public? Do you not murder others? Do you follow other laws applicable to where you live? If you said yes to any of these, then you engage in the legal system as a social institution. Do you watch the news? Or perhaps listen to the news? Do you follow any news sources on social media? Do you engage in social media in any way? Do you read magazines? If you said yes to any of these, then you engage in media as a social institution. Social institutions include things like schools and universities. Our families are social institutions. Hospitals or medical centers, businesses, stores, banking, government, the legal system, and religion. These are all some of our main social institutions. Now, social institutions can also include media, your place of work, any sports teams you engage in, your friend group, any organizations or clubs you belong to or are connected to. All of these are considered to be social institutions. So now that you've listened to this, what social institutions did you discover that you engage in? I'm looking forward to reading your post in the 1-1 discussion board with information about the social institutions that you engage in.